Welcome back, YouTube. This is Laura Volpin-Testa from Fashion Illustration Tribe. Today we're using a tinted paper to do fashion illustration. I'm going to run you through a quick time lapse where you can just see this drawing come to life. But then we're going to replay the time lapse a little slower so that I can tell you what's going on. Just as an overview, using Adobe Draw App, I was able to color my whole page quickly. This green color, and then I use a sheer black thin pencil to sketch like a pencil sketch. I usually illustrate in gouache on paper, and Adobe Draw App gives me a great gouache feeling. I use the same techniques on my iPad with Adobe Draw as I do when I work on paper and gouache. I still recommend Gouache and Pencil in my Freedom Fashion program as like your primer, your playground where you begin to learn. But then taking it to the iPad, I also have an iPad course. I'll link to it below, but there are a few apps that I really love for fashion illustration. So now we've slowed it down. Adobe Draw has a special tool where if you draw the outline of a shape and completely close it, like it can't be open. If it's a circle, you have to end where you started so that it becomes closed. But if you close a shape and then press your finger inside of it, it will automatically immediately fill entirely with the tone you've selected. You're gonna see that happen later in this video. You can't see me working the controls, but you're gonna see flat layers of color appear. The interesting thing about that is that when I work with Gouache and Pencil, I'm still working with shapes of flat tone. Gouache has a flatness to it that's really nice. When you use colored paper, whether it's digital like this or actual colored paper, any colors you lie on top of that paper really seem to lift off the paper and pop. So yes, this happens on white paper too, but something about using a toned paper really enhances that feeling. So before I start dealing with colors, okay, do you see how I filled the shape of her fan in immediately with flat color? In this particular video, I'm definitely doing a lot more shades and highlights than I usually do. It's just that the fan was so central to the page. What I would like you to notice, you can zoom back and scroll back to replay this, but for example, with the yellow, I'm only using one yellow. When I go to my color picker, I select the yellow I want, but all of the other yellows you see, I don't select a different yellow. I just slide to the black or the white side of that yellow. So the paler yellows you see are the same yellow plus white. And the darker shadows that you see are the same yellow plus black. That's how I create tone and shadow in all of my illustration, whether it's gouache or digital. It makes a real dimensional pop. You can see how the darker colors give depth and the lighter colors pop forward, especially if you look at the glitter on her face. But every color I use, I'm usually using a shadow tone, which is the color plus black, and a highlight tone, which is the color plus white, to give different layers of space and dimension to my drawing. All this takes practice. It's a question of developing your eye. I worked from a photograph, so photographs are great because you can refer to the shadows and highlights in the photo. If you do that for a while, drawing from photos or live people, you will build your vocabulary of light and shadow. One of the great things and tricky things about fashion illustration in the beginning is that you see so many details, you think you have to draw every one. The joy of fashion is that you get to be impressionistic. You get to just pick out the deepest shadows and the brightest highlights so that you can work quickly. For your bonus tutorial, I just want to show you what the color picker looks like. Here's my basic yellow. You can see it's selected with a slider that's all the way to the right or a circle that's in the color wheel. I slide that slider to the left towards black to get my shadow tones, and you can see the result. But if I pull my circle on the color picker towards the center of the color wheel, it adds white to that color. This is how I create my shadow, highlight, and base tones. If you subscribe, I'm going to have more time lapses and instructional videos. You can ask questions in the comments. You'll also want to subscribe at fashionillustrationtribe.com for more free resources. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Let me know what you'd like to see in upcoming videos by commenting below. You can also share your work in our Facebook group at Fashion Tribalistas. I'll also link that below. Thanks!